Hello. Hi, chat. What's up? How we been? How we doing? Hooray. Hey, what's up? Don't think I won't. God damn. If only I knew how to type. Where's the fucking underscore? There it is. I do that shit fucking manually. Hold on. Almost caught up on these streams, about a third of the way through chapter 5. Cool, excellent. The story would have lost me around the time Shiki started going back to school, but I think it's really picked up literally as soon as Arc showed up. I feel like most of the best visual novels have a slow start, but then, like, when they pick up, they pick way up. It's like, oh fuck, this shit is going down. You're welcome to Shadow Bure always. I try to shout out all of the friends who've been featured on the channel. Also, that was super visually interesting for what it is, especially in a VN. Yeah, Type Moon has a habit of doing that. Back when we played Witch on the Holy Night earlier in the year, oh my god, that shit went crazy. I'd never seen a VN with visuals like that before. It was awesome. And I know for a fact that Fate Stay Night has a very similar, because I did play the Mirror Moon translation, the fan translation, years ago. I played like the intro couple of chapters, and that's also very visually stunning, so I can only imagine the remake is even better. Thank you for the head pats, Gilgamesh. But yeah, that's very exciting. It's very exciting. And I hope it's very exciting because the plan for this week, I haven't posted a schedule, and that was kind of deliberate. The plan for this week is to try and just pump out more Tsukihime. I'm going to try and do it like 6 p.m. every evening. Apparently there's a lot of things going on Friday, so I'm probably not going to be streaming on Friday, but I'm going to try and do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Saturday, and then I have something else planned for Sunday. Actually, what I'll probably do is I'll take Friday and Saturday off, and then we'll stream next week. We'll do Sunday, Monday, probably Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. We'll worry about next week when we get there. But this week the plan is to just do Tsukihime like a lot, because I want to get. On the one hand, I want to get through Tsukihime so that we can start Fate Stay Night, because I really want to start Fate Stay Night. But on the other hand, I don't want to say I want to get through Tsukihime, because I am really enjoying the story and I want to like experience it. But all these fucking visual novels are like 80 goddamn hours long. I don't have time for that. And then there's other games coming out. There's a game that's coming out a week from today. It's called Black Myth Wukong. Maybe you've heard of it. And it was like, I remember hearing about it for a long time, but it was never exactly on my radar. And then a couple more trailers started coming out, and I went, oh yeah, I remember that's a game. And I kind of want to check it out now, because for those who don't know who Wukong is, Sun Wukong, sometimes called Son Goku, is the Monkey King from Tales of the Monkey King and Journey to the West, which is a huge cultural phenomenon, legendary tale from Asia, from China, and adapted into a lot of Japanese literature. It's the foundation for like half of your favorite shonen protagonists is Journey to the West. So I want to explore that, because I haven't read Journey to the West because it's crazy stupid long, also similarly to a visual novel. That's Goku. Yeah, that is Goku. But I do know a little bit of the story, and I want to play the game and kind of explore that mythology a little more, because it's so dense and so broad, and I want to experience that. And also, the gameplay is Souls-like, so that'll occupy our time in the same way that Elden Ring occupied our time for like a quarter of this whole goddamn year. We played Elden Ring for, I shit you not, like 3 straight months, bro. Y'all remember that shit? It was like the only thing I did. I can't believe y'all stuck around through that. And like I said, there will be more Elden Ring content to come, hopefully before the end of this month. It just won't be on this channel, it'll be on the other channel. Hashtag fucking YouTube, I guess. Which, by the way, thanks for 50 subscribers on the YouTube. That's kind of hilarious, considering I never bring it up. I never bring up the fact that I even have a YouTube channel, and the only things that are posted there are shorts and clips from this stream. So, call I am a Souls nut? Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. Oh, I imagine you'll be playing Wukong then, just for the thrill? Or maybe you'll like to try before you buy, in which case, I'm your guy. The rhyme was only intentional halfway through that sentence. Yeah, I do like Souls-esque gameplay. I also like DMC-esque gameplay. Those are probably those are the biggest selling points in any game for me, is like rich storytelling, rich character building, a rich cast of characters at that, and like action combat gameplay. It's like practically what this channel is built around. Oh yeah, speaking of mythology, in addition to Black Myth Wukong, which hopefully once we start playing that, I'll be able to like kind of do some more research into, provide some more mythos morsels. I published another article on the website today, for those of you who haven't seen it. It's another short piece. I feel like the shorter... I feel like this short, like 5-minute reads... Oh, excuse me. I feel like the short 5-minute reads are a good way to kind of convey these ideas that I have. I think they're working so far. In fact, let me pull up a link to the site directly. I'll post a link to the article in chat right now for you guys to see. There you go. Check that out if you are so inclined. It's a callback to when we played Okami on the channel. It's about the character Ben-K, who we encountered on the bridge, and why we encountered him on the bridge. It's a little more, less comparative mythology like the previous article, and more kind of recounting a tale that some people may not know as well as the classics, because when you study mythology and literature in American English class or whatever, you usually get Greek and Roman, and that's about it. Sometimes Norse, but you hardly ever get Eastern stuff. Usually you gotta explore that on your own. So, I've given you guys a little bit of a gateway into that with Ben-K. A bridge, if you will, to the Eastern mythologies. Anyway, check that out if you're so inclined. About a 5-minute read. You know what's not a 5-minute read? Tsukihime. So let's get back into that, shall we? Got some very exciting gameplay ahead of us. I'm going to be pushing the A button a lot. When last we left off... Actually, let me transition screens first really quick. There we go. Why is it so dark? When last we left off in Tsukihime, we had defeated the vampire Vlad Archangel. And we almost died in the fucking process because his powers were not, in fact, fire. They were ice. And he just wreaked havoc all over the place. I'm a Dracula. Blah, blah, blah. I want to suck your dick. I mean your blood. Anyway, that's an overplayed joke. It's time to find out what happens next after we survived our encounter with Vlav. Chapter 6: Scars of Azure. We got a little taste of Ark's true vampiric power. And as a reminder, all extracurricular sounds are muted for reading streams and will probably be for the rest of this week. But you can always visit the fishing hall. Soft rays of sunlight stir me from my sleep. My eyes are closed, but I sense the serenity surrounding me through my skin. The air is cool, but gentle. It feels like it's going to be a beautiful, sunny day. Time for me to wake up and actually act like a student. I'd all but forgotten about school with everything that happened these past 2 days. I can't believe we're going back to school, man. What the hell? I open my eyes. I find myself in bed, my glasses neatly placed next to my pillow. Y'all hear that airplane outside? I don't know if you can hear that. It's still going. I can still hear it. Okay, it's gone. By force of habit, I put on my glasses before looking around. The sunlight streaming in through the window is so vivid I can almost hear the rays sparkle. I take a deep breath, filling my lungs with fresh air. That's right, it's Sunday. No school today. Actually, Shiki, it's Mythos Monday. I hear the hands of a clock ticking, offering a rhythm to the chirping of the birds outside. I'm back. I don't think I've ever been more grateful to be met with such an ordinary morning. Thank God. I'm not just grateful to have survived the night, or to have disposed of that vampire. After that gruesome experience, I'm just happy to be able to wake up to something that resembles normality. This morning feels like happiness itself. For an insignificant human like me, there's no greater reward than... Good morning, Master Shiki. The sudden greeting startles me into an upright position. I look over to find Hisui standing at attention in front of the door. That's okay. I wasn't going to say anything, but then you said standing at attention. Both of these sentences are an innuendo. You can't into an upright position and then immediately standing at attention. You can't, that's a 1-2. You can't do that. My brain, I have brain rot. You can't say those two sentences. You can't say those two phrases that close to each other. Ahem. My apologies. I called out to you because you had not noticed my presence. Yeah, my bad. That caught me off guard. My heart is pounding like crazy. Wait, it's not even 7 yet. Indeed. It is slightly earlier than you would normally rise. Right. So what brings you here, Hisui? I came to wake you. Mistress Akiha wants to hear your explanation regarding these past 2 days. She has ordered me to bring you to her, by force if necessary. We're in trouble. Akiha, these past 2 days. Explanation. Though I hear the words, it's as if they've lost all meaning. I spend about 10 seconds pondering them, resisting the temptation to abandon rational thought entirely. No matter how hard I try to think of one, I simply have no excuse for the past 2 days. I skipped school, I broke curfew, I basically went AWOL on Akiha. She was already pretty mad when I didn't make it back before dark. I dread to imagine the fury I'll face this time. So Hisui, I'm afraid to ask, but just how angry is she? I wonder. That is something you will have to confirm for yourself, Master Shiki. Hisui sounds coldly unconcerned with my plight. If I had known things would turn out like this, I'd have done everything to get back, even if it meant crawling back. Wait, crawling back? Hold on a minute. How am I in my room right now? You returned a little past 2 a.m. last night. My sister found you sleeping at the front entrance and brought you to your room. Arcui dropped us off. I stare at her, slack-jawed. Staying out late without a word, falling asleep on the doorstep. Sound like some stereotypical drunk who missed the last train. Does she think I'm a cat or something? My thoughts go back to Arcui. Though, I guess I should be thankful she at least carried me to the front door. Either way, I have a better grasp of the situation now. I'll be right out, so if you could tell Akiha to, stay as calm as possible for me, that'd be great. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I have to refuse in light of the circumstances. Her answer is simple and to the point. My standing in the Tono household must have hit rock bottom. Akiha is the head of the family, so it comes as zero surprise that I've got no allies. At any rate, I should get up. I won't get anything done by staying in bed. Oh. The second I stand up, my legs feel like they might explode. Of course, if there's anything I should be surprised about, it's the fact that I lived to see another morning. It's a wonder I survived, considering all the reckless stuff I did. Master Shiki? Are you alright? You're sweating rather profusely. It's true, my forehead is drenched in sweat. It only took one step for my body to become feverish with pain. Perhaps it would be better to rest if you aren't feeling well. I could speak with Mistress Akiha about... No, I'm fine. I just twisted my ankle. It'll heal up in no time. I'm more scared of Akiha anyway. I don't want to make her even more mad by putting this off. I can tell from her eyes that Hisui doesn't believe me. But her position prevents her from calling out my obvious lie. I feel bad, but she'll just have to accept it for now. I'll head to the lobby after I change. That won't be long, so could you wait outside in the hall? Understood. Please, don't push yourself too hard. Hisui bows deeply and leaves the room. Moving as little as possible, I change out of my pajamas. What a way to start my first day off at the mansion in 7 years. What? But we've been back at the mansion for like a week. Or a few days, anyway. I find Hisui waiting for me in the hall. The wound on my left leg makes me want to scream with every step. The rest of my body feels heavy too, but that's just due to muscle soreness, nothing too severe. I only checked by running my fingers across my skin, but it seems the cuts I got when Vlov's ice slashed my face and shoulders have healed as well. It's clearly Arquaid's work, given how I can't find the slightest trace that the wound were there. She did say she was going to heal me up. Master Shiki, I hope this isn't too presumptuous of me, but please, use this. Hisui timidly hands me a long, slim rod. It's a walking stick. No, a cane. You had one of these, huh? Yes, I recalled seeing one in the storage room. I was lucky enough to find it. She's already seen the wound. She knew that we would need it. I almost laugh at her earnestness until I realize her breathing is slightly elevated. She must have run there and back from me in the short time I was changing. Oh, never mind. Thanks. Pain was shooting up from my heel with every step. This will be a huge help. Of course. I hope it will be of use. Grasping the cane, I shift the weight being supported by my left leg to my arm. I should have no problem walking now. I thank Hisui again for her thoughtfulness, and together we make our way to the lobby. It doesn't take long to arrive. I leave the cane next to the door. On the other side of this door is the head of the Tono household, my younger sister by 1 year. She's waiting to hear her pitiful brother's equally pitiful excuses. I can't even imagine what terrible fate awaits me within. But now isn't the time to be whining. I brought this on myself. Regardless of the circumstances, I skipped a day of school and didn't come home for 2 whole days. We skipped 2 days of school. It's only natural that Akiha would want an explanation. I should... Well, that's a tough choice. I, personally, I'm inclined to tell her the truth. Because, like, how would we think of an excuse that would keep us away for 2 days? Can't tell her that you, like, had another fainting spell and were rushed to a hospital, because then she'd call the hospital and they'd say that you were never there. I don't... Ooh. I can't think of an excuse. I should just tell her the truth. I don't want to lie to Akiha, and some half-hearted attempt to dodge the question isn't going to work on her anyway. My thoughts exactly. If I speak the whole truth and nothing but the truth, down to the tiniest details, I'm sure Akiha will understand. I may be desperate, but I'm not crazy. Alright, let's do this. If I'm going to survive this, I'll have to be brave. I breathe deep and open the door to the parlor. Good morning, Shiki. How strange. It feels as though I haven't seen you in... Hey, morning, Akiha. I sit down across from Akiha and counter her angry stare with a smile so bright you'd need an SPF 50 to block it. My heel is still hurting something fierce, but I grin my way through. And I forgot to say this before, but good morning to you too, Hisui. Thank you for your help. I appreciate it. Bro is confident. I express my gratitude to Hisui, who's standing against the wall. I didn't realize my decision to be honest would also make me this genial with my morning greetings. I'll have to remember that. You know, if you plan on telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, It's hard not to be happy because you don't have to be anxious. It's just the truth. No ulterior motives, no excuses, no lies. It is just what it is. I like that. You're in quite the good mood. I expected you to be more reserved after having reflected on your recent actions. I did do some reflecting, and I know what I did was wrong. But that's not why I'm in a good mood. I'm just happy that I get to see you this early in the morning. That was incredibly wholesome and concerningly smooth. Akiha is as still as a statue. Crap, did I make her angry? I guess there is such a thing as being too honest. I'll have to remember that too. Akiha-sama. Mr. Sakiha. I'm fine, Hisui. And I appreciate your candor. Akiha coughs lightly and manages to regain her usual demeanor. However, you won't be able to fool me with such sincere words. So they're sincere, huh? You won't be able to fool me with such insincere words. I'm not sure I like the expression on your face right now. Sister. A blood relative. A woman with whom I share both parents. We're here so you can explain what you did over these past 2 days. About that, Akiha. Go on. What excuse have you prepared? Excuse me. It's a long story, but I'll try to keep it short. I've been hunting a vampire these last 2 days. You know that serial killer that's been terrorizing Soya? It was actually a vampire. I ended up meeting another vampire too, though she was on our side. Anyway, I owed her a favor, so I helped her fight the evil vampire. Shiki, I don't want to alarm you, but I think you better start dropping some fat details right now, because this ain't gonna cut it. Akiha is perfectly frozen in place. An understandable reaction. I can already imagine how this will go a few seconds from now. Do you take me for an idiot? I can already hear her yelling at me. But how else can I describe what's been happening? Though it's unfortunate, I can't expect her to swallow such a wild story. I'm sure she'll accuse me of making up ridiculous excuses. Is she not going to say something? She certainly looks angry enough, so what's with the silence? Hello? Akiha? Shiki, was that supposed to be some sort of joke? Akiha's cold, silent gaze pierces right through me. No, I'm not joking. But it is a joke, is it not? I guess it might have to be. It's hard to stay firm when she's this insistent. Good.
ですが、
But please
今後は
refrain
冗
from
談だ
making
と
such
しても
jokes in the
そのよう
future.
な妄言は口にしないでください。どこに親
You
族
never
の
know
聞
what
き耳があ
information
ると
may
も
find
限
its
りま
way
せん。
to our relatives.
当の
I
死
don't
期
want
は
to be hearing
遠
gossip
野
about
家
how
の長
Shiki
男に
Tono
はふ
isn't
さわ
fit
し
to
く
be
な
called
い
the
という
Tono
風
family's
説なん
eldest
て
son.
私は聞きたくありませんので。
She's scary. Though Akiha is definitely angry, she doesn't seem to have lost faith in me. Her gaze may be cold as ice, but she's actually being considerate of my position. I'm pretty sure she's genuinely concerned in her own rigid way.
ごめん。
Sorry.
今のは忘れてくれ。
Forget everything I said.
俺も悪ふざけが過ぎ
Maybe
た。
it's in bad taste.
いい
Get
で
back
しょう。
down, that's the truth!
この件に関して
Alright,
これ以上の追
I
及
won't
はい
pursue
た
this
しま
matter
せん。
any further.
連絡をいただ
After
けな
all,
か
I
っ
am
た点
partially
に
at
つい
fault
て
for your
は
failure to make
私
contact.
にも落ち度がありますから。
落ち度なんて。
Huh?
そんなの
How
は秋
could
葉
you
に
be
無
at
理だ
fault here?
携帯電話を取り
I'm
上
the
げ
one
た
who
の
took
は
away your
私です。
phone.
あれがあれ
If you
ば
had it, even a boor
ズ
such
ボ
as
ラな兄
yourself
さんで
would
も
have at
連絡
least
ぐらい
left a
はしたので
message,
はありま
right?
せんか。
Looks like she doesn't know that my phone was secretly returned to me quite some time ago.
ですが、それも
However,
今回だけです。
I'll only let it go
今
this
後はこ
once.
のようなことは控え
Please
てくだ
avoid
さい。
doing something like this again in the
兄さん
future.
は遠野家の唯一
You
の
are the
男性
only
なんです
male
から。
heir of the Tono
もう
family.
少しご自
I
分の
need
立
you
場
to
を
be
理解
more
していた
aware
だ
of
か
your
ないと
position.
困ります。良くない外
If
文
your
が広ま
behavior
って
were
し
to
まった
reflect
ら、
poorly on us, it could
遠野家
influence
の
the
今後
Tono
の人
family's
付き合い
social
にも影
standing.
響がありますし。
Oh god, intersocial, familial, fucking, fuck. That sentence really got away from me. Our standing. Does she mean between me and our other dignified families?
いやー、それこそ問
I
題な
doubt
いだ
it
ろ
cause all
う。
that much trouble.
俺が
Our
何しよう
relatives
と
don't
興味も
particularly
持た
care
ないっ
about
て
me.
あっちの方々は。大体遠野の跡取りは
Besides,
秋葉なん
you're
だ
the
から。
actual heir.
家
If
のこ
any of
と
them
を
were to
思
be
うなら
concerned about the
俺を
family,
よ
they
そ
should
に
be
出すな
looking
り
for a suitable
遠
man
野
to
の家
marry
に
into
ふ
the
さわし
family
い
so they
婿
can
養
get
子
rid
で
of
も
me.
見つければいいのに。
I'm met with silence once more. I wonder what might have caused it this time.
どうした？
What's wrong?
気分でも
Are you
悪い
not
の
feeling
か
well?
秋葉。
結構です。
I'm fine.
私を気遣う
If you
余
have
裕があ
time
る
to
の
worry
でした
over
ら、
me, please
ご
worry
自
about
分の体
yourself
調を気にし
first.
てください。慢性的な貧血持ち
You're
なん
the
で
one
す
with the
から。
chronic
Lisa.
anemia. She's right. I do collapse frequently due to my anemia.
ともかく、
In
あ
any
まりお
case,
一人で
please
屋敷
refrain
を出
from
ないで
leaving
く
the
だ
mansion
さ
on
い。
your own so much.
そうでなくとも、
The town has been
近頃
restless
の
as of
町
late.
は物騒なんです。
An absent-minded person like yourself is practically begging to be attacked by the serial killer.
通り魔に襲ってくださいと言っているようなものなんですから。
それなら大丈夫。
Nothing to worry about there.
あんな事
The
件
serial killer won't
二度
strike
と起きな
again.
いよ。
Our town had been beset by a serial killer. Called a modern-day vampire in the news, the killer lurked in the darkness, striking terror into the hearts of men. No suspects had been found. But all of that is in the past now.
は？
Come again.
吸血鬼は
I'm
い
saying
ない
the
ってこ
vampire's
とだよ。
gone. The suspect has
そ
already
の
been
犯人
caught.
はもう捕まったんだ。
そうなんですか。
Is that so?
それは良
That
い
is
知
good
ら
to
せです
hear.
が、
But how do you know?
兄さん、よくそんなことを知っていますね。
ああ、
Well, I
たまたま
just
逮捕現
happened
場
to
に
be at the
居合
scene
わせ
where
たとい
they
う
were
か。
apprehended. Saying those words makes me smile wryly. It's technically the truth. One board of an incredible series of coincidences. So much happened during those 2 days I spent with Arkwade. Thinking back on it, it still feels like a dream. But at any rate, the monster that made its nest in this town is gone. I can't deny being somewhat proud of my involvement.
兄さん、どうしたんです？急に嬉しそうな顔をして。
Shiki, something you'd like to share? You have quite the smug look about you.
別に
Oh, it's
何
nothing.
でもない。 ただ、
I just realized that all of that is finally over.
ようやく実感できた。
The weight lifted from my chest as I say those words puts a smile on my face. Ultimately, it seems that Akiha has accepted my explanation. I thank her as I stand up.
いや、安心したらお腹が
I'm
減って
feeling
き
kind
た。
of hungry now that that's all
朝食を
settled.
もらってきてもいい？
Mind if I go grab breakfast?
私に許可を
You
求める
don't need
必
to
要
ask
はあ
me
り
for
ません。
permission.
朝食まで
I have
管理
no
する気
intention
は
to
ありませ
dictate
んから。
when you eat your breakfast,
ご自
so
由
go
にとって
ahead.
ください。
I imagine Kohaku
琥
is in the
珀なら
kitchen
厨
preparing
房
it
で
as
朝
we
食の
speak.
支度をしているでしょうし。
サンキュー。
Thanks.
じゃあ遠慮な
I'll
く。
go help myself then. I make for the door. Ouch. My left leg really is killing me.
お待ちなさい、兄
Wait,
さん。
Shiki.
先ほどから気にな
I
っていま
thought
し
something was
た
off
が、
before, but now I'm
今の
certain.
ではっきりし
You've
ました。
injured your leg, haven't you?
足を怪我していますね。
Did you not see us walk in with the cane? Anyway. Oh,
いや、
this is just a
これは
sprain,
捻
or
挫と
maybe
い
I
うか、
pulled something.
筋を違
Nothing to worry
ったと
about.
いうか、とにかく大した怪我じゃないんで気にしないでくれ。
そうですか。
Nothing to worry about, you say.
大したことはないと。
Akiha walks toward me briskly. She looks me in the eye and, without warning,
えい。
there. She stepped right on the most swollen part of my left foot, like she knew exactly where it's hurt.
あら、びっくり。
Oh my, what a
兄さんのポー
surprise.
カーフェイ
Your
スも
poker face crumbled pretty
直接的な痛み
swiftly
には
when
脆い
push
の
came
で
to
すね。
shove. You fucking sadist.
そりゃ弱いよ。っていう
That's
か
such a dirty
俺の方がびっ
move.
く
I
り
should
だ
be the
よ。
one surprised.
お前、
You
分
knew
かってるや
exactly
った
what you were
ろ。
doing.
誤解ですわ。
Not at all. I assure you it took all of my courage to ascertain the
兄
truth,
さんの言語を
as I
信
so
じて
desperately wanted to trust
精
what you
一杯
told
の
me.
勇気で試してみただけですもの。
Scheming. Akiha flashes a graceful, oh so wicked smile. This is clearly payback for me not telling her everything. Akiha returns to the couch and elegantly lifts her teacup to her lips as though nothing happened. She seems to be in a fantastic mood now.
さて、
Now then,
確かに
while
大
your
した
injury
怪我
doesn't
では
appear
な
to
か
be
ったけ
serious,
ど、
that doesn't mean we can
放っ
simply
ておくの
ignore
は
it.
良くないわね。兄さん、
These are my orders as head of the family.
朝食が済
You
み
are
次
to
第
receive medical treatment once you finish your breakfast. Reason for your injury aside, we can't have you in this much
大
pain.
げさに痛がられるのは迷惑ですから。
そりゃ診
I'm
察は
happy
受
to
け
get
た
it
いけ
looked
ど、
at, but are you sure you
怪我
don't
の理
need to
由
know how I got
聞
it?
かなくていいのか。
興味ありませ
To be
ん。
more specific, I
ど
don't
うせくだ
care.
らない理由でしょうから。
I'm sure it was something stupid.
大体。
Besides,
聞い
it's
た
not
とこ
like
ろで
you'd tell
私
me
に
if
は
I
内緒なん
asked.
でしょ。兄さんは。
Akiha answers curtly, the very picture of authority.
外傷のない捻挫
If it's
なら。
merely a sprain, I'm sure
琥珀でも対応
Kohaku
で
could
きます。
treat you just fine.
あ、
Oh,
そ
that
っ
said,
か。
Dr.
今朝は
Arak
荒木
is
先
present
生も
this
いま
morning
した
as
ね。
well.
あの人はもともと
She's actually a
外科の医師
qualified
です。
surgeon.
内科の琥珀と
Kohaku, who specializes
外科の
in
荒木
internal
先生。
medicine, or Dr. Arak, who is skilled in surgery.
お好きな方を
Please,
選んで
pick
くださ
whomever
い。
you'd prefer. Huh. This is a little unexpected. Okay, this is a complex choice, because we know that it's way worse than just a sprain. We know that for a fact. But Akiha... If we pick Kohaku, we might be able to soft convince Akiha that it is just a sprain and is not anything to worry about. But Kohaku is definitely gonna, like, rat us out eventually and be like, Shiki, you need to, like, go to a hospital. This is beyond my purview. But Arak is a crazy person. I feel like we really be taking our life in our hands with this one. Then again, we took our life in our hands when I jumped into the fire last episode, so you know what? Fuck it. I'll have Professor Arak examine me. She might be a bit of an enigma, but I guess she's a real doctor. She's even got the white coat and everything.
わかりました。
Very
アラ
well.
ク先生
I
に
will
は
inform her,
私から
so
伝え
please
てお
wait
き
in
ま
your
すの
room
で、
after breakfast.
あとは自室で待機していてください。アラク先生は予想の
She
つか
may
ない
be
方です
unpredictable, but she is also an
医
accomplished
師としての
physician.
腕は確か
You'll
に
be seeing her quite often now that you live
こ
here,
こで暮らす
so
のなら
please take
頻
this
繁に会う
opportunity
人
to
で
get
す
to
し
know each other better.
これを機に親睦を深めてください。
And that's the meta reason. Is that she's had like a minute of screen time. As has that other girl, the other student in school that's not CL, the other female student that we met on like the first day and then haven't seen since. And the teacher, the substitute teacher. There's so many characters that seem to have plot lines, and I don't. It's been weeks. There's another positive to crashing through this game this week. We'll see. Another thing I'm thinking about as we're reading is doing 6-hour sessions, because if each chapter is approximately 3 hours and we do 6-hour sessions, then we should be on track to finish the game this week. But that's going to be kind of hard on my voice, so I don't know if I want to do that. Might have to play it by ear. Akiha speaks dispassionately. Perfectly concise and to the point. Now then, I'll grab breakfast and have my leg looked at afterwards. Long pause. Back in my room, I decide to read a book to kill some time. Around 10, I spot someone in white leisurely swaggering down the hall through my window. I close my book in preparation for what's coming. Sure enough. I wonder what he was reading. I guess we'll never know.
Ohio-chan!
I forgot just how like this she looked. God damn. Is it hot in here? You want me to play with you first thing in the morning? You are such a bad boy, Shiki. You're gonna gobble me up now that your wild pubescent urges are threatening to boil over? If crazy, why hot? If crazy, why hot? Without even bothering to knock, the drunkard barges into my room, clasping a flashy bag in one hand. I severely regret not choosing Kohaku. Sorry, it seems I picked the wrong person, so could you please leave? Oh, don't be like that. I was only joking, except not at all. It's been so long since I've done a house call, so I'm a little rusty with my bedside manner. Thought you'd prefer if I was a little more frank, you know? I'm just trying to be nice. Gilgamesh, break out the bog stick. She chatters away as she approaches my bed, exaggeratedly swaying her chest and hips with all the subtlety of a runway model. Yet oddly, her footsteps make no sound, almost like a ninja. I'd noticed before that she normally clicks her heels as loudly as possible with every step. Does that mean she's actually taking this examination seriously? Okay, now show me what's ailing you. Hurry up, don't be shy. I want to see those clothes fly off. You really whetted my appetite here, so let's get to it before I lose all control. God, every line just makes me question my life choices. Are you drunk? Of course not. I'm always stone cold sober. Why ain't just alcohol when I can just guzzle chocolate?
チョコ飲むわよチョコ
It's true that she doesn't smell like booze. But that would mean she's naturally like this. Aw, aren't you a good patient? But just rolling up your pant legs won't be enough. Oh no. I need you down to your unmentionables. Men only look good naked until they hit 25, so don't be afraid to flaunt what you got while you still got it.
つけておかないともったいないわよ
No, Kage, no, you can't. You didn't show up right now. You can't. Wait a minute, hold on. This might actually be the worst time for a raid. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me get my spiel out of the way. Kage, thank you for the raid. Welcome, my raiders. If you don't know me, my name is Conla Redleaf, aka Conla the Kingslayer. I used to be a wolf by warrior before I was defeated and transformed into the orbacular being you see before you today. It's not what it looks like. This is our doctor. She's not drunk, so she says, which means she is unfortunately just horny on main by default. Actually, then again, I know what Kage was doing on stream, so maybe it's just Thirsty Monday. I don't know, man. It's fine. It's fine. Oh boy. Anyway. Yes, last time, if you missed last episode, on the last time on Tsukihime, we killed a vampire and almost died in the process. And our sister noticed our 2 straight day absence with no messages, and has also noticed that we started walking with a cane nonchalantly. So she sent our family doctor to have a look at us, and well, this is her. And I'm reading all of these lines and taking psychic damage every time I do. Anyway, if you're sticking around, fucking enjoy the show, I guess, but if you gotta take care of some post-stream stuff, don't let me hold you up. As always, Kage, thanks for the raid, and oh, let me get you a shout-out. I don't know if I have any mods in chat at the moment. They might be occupado. There you go. Alright. Get comfortable.
いいから早く見てください、博士。
Just hurry up and examine me, Professor. There's a limit to what I'm willing to put up with here. Did you just say Professor? You did, didn't you? I really do look like one, don't I? Are you not actually... Are you or are you not actually a doctor? I'm... Every word that comes out of this woman's mouth makes me just exponentially more concerned. Well, you do look the part, well, with the lab coat and all. She looks exactly like how I'd imagine a mad scientist to look. You are simply the best. Better than all the rest. Alright, guess I'll get serious. Professor Arak crouches down and starts palpating my legs. Dr. Arak is definitely a Dr. Arak at the very least. That sounds about right. It feels kind of weird. Rather than just running her fingers across my skin, she sends little taps resonating through my leg, though it doesn't hurt in the slightest. It's almost like a submarine using sonar to guide itself. That's actually, the beginning of this year, back in January, I took a slight knee injury at work, And this is exactly how I would describe what the doctor did to check on me, because I've never really been injured before. I never like played sports in high school or anything like that. I've been to the doctor, I've been like sick, but I've never really had an injury until this year. And it was nothing major. I didn't like have a cast or anything. But that was exactly, the doctor's like, okay, I'm gonna like palpate your leg, try and kind of get a sense for where the issue kind of is. And that's exactly what it was like. It was like tippy tappy. It was very like, it was almost like sonar. That's weird. It's weird that it's weird that it's described that way, because that's almost exactly the experience that I had. That's really cool. Which I guess makes sense, because that's kind of the intent. But just a little personal anecdote.
やったー
Oh no!
骨に
You
ひび
totally
入
got
っ
a
てるわよ
fracture. The look on your face when you say that makes me not want to believe you.
チキちゃんは痛いの大好き
Not many people could put up with this kind of pain. He must be quite the
普通は我慢できない
widow-masochist.
し
She said fucking whittle. It's spelled with a W. This woman is mind-breaking me. And not... That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant to say. I'm just gonna keep reading. So that's what it was. Balrog, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Stop. God, that face is killing me. Deep breaths. So that's what it was. I'm actually kind of glad that it's just a fracture. I wouldn't have been surprised if she told me it was straight up broken in places.
でもね
But this is kind of weird.
ここに
If you
亀裂があ
fractured
るってこと
here,
は
then this whole
この
bit
辺
should
り
be
降りてな
like
いとお
broken.
かしいんだけど
I think I'll have me a little nom. Ignore it. I'm ignoring it.
うわ
What are you doing?
何した今
ちょっとした消毒よ
Just some disinfecting.
でもこれ
I don't think we need to open you up. Keep it in place and you'll be fine by tomorrow. What a snooze fest. Arak. Professor Arak scratches her head disappointedly and removes some medical equipment from her bag. She puts on a pair of brand new latex gloves and prepares a syringe. I'll give you something for the pain, okay? You don't really need it, but the boss told me to be extra attentive with you. Professor Arak presses the needle into my left leg with one fluid motion. Once that's done, she finishes by taping my heel and bandaging my leg to keep them in place. She's actually really good at this. I'd wager she's on par with the old man who used to take care of me when I lived with the Adimas. If only she could keep her mouth shut, she might be a great doctor.
ありがとうございます
Thank you.
おかげで助か
Feel
り
a
ま
lot
した
better.
いいのいいの
My pleasure,
私所詮
Shiki.
無免許専
Though
門
I'm unlicensed and this isn't even my field of expertise. I'm like a researcher, you know.
博士
And you called me professor, which was super nice. Oh my god, she really isn't a real doctor. You know what? That's fine. That's okay. I'm not worried. She seems pretty happy about the professor thing. Judging by her reaction, I bet Akiha has never once called her that.
けどしきちゃ
No.
んずっと体に無
You
茶して
can't make a face like that at me.
人体の運動 調整、その限界に挑んだ感じ？
But you're really pushing your body, you know. Like, to the edge of what's humanly possible.
私、そういう
I'm
むちゃ
totally
くちゃ
into
なの
that
大
though,
好きだ
so
から
even as your
医者として止め
doctor,
な
I
い
won't
け
stop
ど
you. Chad, I think I'm developing a type, and that's not good.
おや、医者は本職じ
I
ゃない
thought
ん
you
でしょ
said you weren't licensed. Just let it happen, shut Gaga, you should not be encouraging this behavior. You of all people should know that liking a mad scientist is unhealthy at best. Yeah. Oh, Shiki, you're such a meanie.
おとなしそうに見えて
You look cute, but you're actually kind of cold-blooded,
体
huh?
だけじゃなく
Are you a hybrid in both body and soul?
っていうか、あなた
Hey, how much do you
自分の
understand of your own
体について
body?
どこまで理解してるの？
I'll take her off your hands. I'll have to think about that one. I don't know. I don't know if I'm. I don't know if I'm ready to give up all of that just yet. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, her unhinged is rubbing off on me. I gotta reel it back in, boy. I gotta reel it back in. Are
貧血持ちのことで
you
すか？
talking about my anemia?
そっちじゃなくて、
Not that.
筋肉と
I
骨
meant
格
your
のこ
muscles
と
and bone
エ
structure.
ンジンとフレーム
The engine and the frame on this meat machine of yours.
君珍しい
You got some pretty rare features, judging from what I felt. Ladies, take note.
筋肉には瞬発力
There are
重視
two
の
types
腹
of
筋と
muscles. Fast twitch, which allows for bursts of
腹筋があるわけだ
movement,
けど
and slow
チキ
twitch,
ちゃん
which
は
are built for
腹筋で
endurance.
それはいい
You're
んだ
mostly
けど
fast twitch muscle, which is fine,
なんて
but
い
you're
う
like
か
super
軽
light.
いのよね
Not just your frame, but
骨
even
格
your
じゃなく
bones
て骨その
themselves.
ものが軽い
You're
と
like
い
a
う
super
か
light freak of nature.
なん
Make
か
sense?
生まれつき自重をごまかしてふわふわ浮く不思議ちゃんみたいな
Okay, that one I'm not sure is a compliment exactly, but you do you.
何ですかそれ？
My bones are light?
骨が
What am
軽い
I,
っ
a
て
bird?
鳥ですか俺は。
あ、そうそんな
Oh yeah, exactly.
こんなん自然には
This doesn't just happen by accident, you know. It takes a lot of preparation. You're like a thoroughbred, born to sprint super fast for 10
走る
seconds.
ためだけに生まれてきた兄弟な
You're
の
the
に
exact
ど
opposite
う
of
し
the
てる
boss.
とは正
You'd never think the two of you were related. Write that down, Chad. Write that down. That's gotta be lore reason. We're bioengineered babies. We one's the tank and the other is the DPS.
アキハと正反対
I'm the
なんですか？
opposite of Akiha.
そう
Yep.
東野家の子はみんな
Everyone in the
優
Tono
秀
family's
かつ
got
オーラ
first-rate
な
old
遺伝子
DNA.
配合異種配
All
合
the
の
result
賜
of
物
some
だけど
fancy genetic
どうしちゃんは
combinations.
ちょっと例
The
外
boss is
という
different
か
though.
隠れ
Or
つ
maybe an
奇
exception.
跡
Or a miracle.
先祖返り
Her genetic makeup harkens back to that of her ancestors.
配合を始める前の
Atavism,
純粋な
folks
パタ
call
ーン
it.
を持っている
Atavism, folks call it. She's got pure genes, like from before other stuff got bred in. That's... Oh, this is gonna be... This is... Welcome to the next Type Moon fucking rabbit hole. In Witch on the Holy Night, we had the root and magic and all that stuff. Now we've got, like, Metal Gear Solid 1-esque gene therapy, genome soldier type shit. Oh, damn it.
そうねあなた
For
が
the
10
kind
年
of
に
specimen
1
that
人の
only
才
appears
能な
once
ら
in 10
あの子は
years, how often would you get someone like her comes around? Once every decade? Once every century? Or once in a millennium? Corners of Professor Arak's lips curl as she poses me the question. I guess Akiha's the kind of person that only appears... I would imagine once every 1,000 years or so. That sounds really fucking rare. Could the Tono family's lineage be traced back that far? I mean, presumably. We got a fucking mansion and family that isn't even family at this point. This is wrong. They're all wrong. No amount of artificial talent can match up to her. Monsters like the boss only come around once every 10,000 years. Professor Arak laughs like she's having a great time. Without thinking, I ball my hands into fists. Aw, are you mad that I'm saying mean things about your little sister? I swear I said it with every ounce of affection I've got. Is that so? I'd still appreciate it if you didn't talk about her like that. I don't want her calling Akiha a monster. Now that I know vampires, real monsters exist, I can't stomach that word being used to describe a human being. That goes double when it comes to Akiha. Oopsie, did I hit a nerve? You're so scary. I better escape while I still can. Arak runs for the door, heels clicking. I don't say anything to stop her. Yet the woman stops in front of the door, turning around with a sly smile on her face. As your doctor, let me give you some parting words. If you're planning on getting hurt some more, why don't you come talk to me first? That old bod's gotten kind of rusty, hasn't it? What do you think? Don't you want to shake off those past 7 years of stagnation? Fair warning, though. It'll hurt a ton. What does she mean by that, Chad? And what if I want it to hurt? I'm moving on. I didn't say that. I don't understand what she's getting at. But the idea of accepting her help makes me feel queasy. I didn't say anything. What am I today? I'm Look, okay, if you're gonna flirt with me like this, I'm gonna flirt back, okay? I can't control it. I'm a mirror, alright? You gotta watch yourself around me because I'm gonna give it right back. God. I'd like to politely reject your offer. I don't plan on this happening again. Shiki, you cockblock. You're such an optimist. Ciao, Shiki. I'll be around if you change your mind. Professor Arak blows me a kiss and leaves the room. That was certainly something. Now that I can move around again, I should figure out how I want to spend the rest of my day. I'm gonna need a big sip after all that. Yikes. Arquaid's cute and badass and all, but that was an experience. It's already afternoon by the time I finish my lunch. After my examination this morning, walking doesn't really hurt anymore. I won't be able to go all that far, but where should I spend the afternoon? I could take a walk around the garden, I could take a look around the mansion, or I could make my way to town. Okay, Shiki, I don't think you really understand what a fracture is. You should just, like, sit in bed and get back to that fucking book you were reading. Just because it doesn't hurt doesn't mean it won't get worse. It's a bone fracture. Maybe it's not, like, the worst, but it could get worse. We should absolutely not leave the fucking mansion. I do want to take a look around the garden. I want to see that. I want to see that. I'll take a walk in the garden. It's been a few days since I returned to the mansion, but I haven't walked around the garden even once. I'll go and see how it compares to my memories from 7 years ago. It's actually possible to enter the courtyard from the lobby. The exit is located just behind the main stairs. If I recall correctly, Akiha said that the groundskeeper was not... he was no longer on retainer. So, I don't know what it looks like. I walk out onto the terrace. It's the same terrace that stretches behind the parlor. When we were younger, this area was Akiha's space whenever the weather was nice. But really, it wasn't so much her space as it was the edge of her territory. Akiha didn't venture into the garden on her own. The terrace was as far as she could go. That's right. I'd always call out to her from the garden when her tutor's back was turned. I think she wanted me to come by here whenever we went out to play. She said it was unfair if we went to play in the forest by ourselves or something. Which meant it was my role to take Akiha into the woods and then shoulder the subsequent scolding. I moved from the terrace into the garden. In the eyes of a child, the garden looked like it stretched on forever. But now that I'm older and taller, I can grasp it in its entirety. There are fewer flowers than there were 7 years ago, but the general atmosphere of the garden hasn't changed a bit. After about 10 minutes of leisurely strolling, I arrive at the gazebo. This is where the garden ends. All that lies beyond is a dense forest. Being mindful not to overexert my leg, I decide to end my walk here. Honestly, this place makes me feel like I've left Japan. I sit on a large rock and admire the vast garden in all its autumn splendor. From out here, the mansion feels closer to a castle. I feel so out of place in this picturesque scene that I can't help but force a smile. The only people who had seen me at home at a place like this are Akiha and... and her, I guess. He's thinking about her. That astonishingly beautiful woman is the only other person I can think of. What's wrong with me? I shake my head to chase away the visions. Why am I thinking about Arkwade at a time like this? It's not like I'll ever see her again. Now that her target Vlav is gone, she has no reason to stay in Soya. That's why it's pointless to think back on all that's happened. Yeah. That was the deal from the start. If anything, I'm glad I no longer have to deal with it. I stopped myself short. There's no point in telling myself such a poor lie. Things may have calmed down since we parted, but that doesn't mean it feels great. Even now, I'm haunted by these feelings. Regret for the things I did, and for the things I couldn't do. Although she brought me nothing but trouble, our time together was... well, it was fun. What, am I stupid? She almost got me killed. Why can't I get her out of my head? The injuries from last night still scar my legs. Remember how Vlav nearly killed you? You shouldn't want to go through something like that ever again. I sigh and leave the gazebo behind. I take my time on the way back, too, wandering aimlessly through the garden. But my regrets refuse to set with the sun, and my thoughts continue to wander long after the light has faded from the horizon. Aww, Shiki's got a window crush. I wish the doctor would crush me. What? Huh? Who said that? Man, that was really... I was really hoping a line would show up faster than that. My afternoon wasn't all that eventful in the end. After absent-mindedly wasting some time in my room, it didn't take long for dinner time to come around. What am I doing? I should just forget about her. I forced myself to stop and think of the blonde woman inhabiting the back of my mind. I read that line totally wrong. I forced myself to stop thinking of the blonde woman inhabiting the back of my mind. They say the sun sets quickly in autumn, but even so, it felt abnormally fast today. I must have lost all sense of time while thinking about this stupid stuff. Akiha is seated in the dining room with Kohaku at attention behind her, while Hisui has taken her position behind me. Kohaku has prepared a full-course meal with Wagyu beef as the entree. I've never had Wagyu, but I've heard such good things. I have to try it sometime. I don't know if it's because of Tono family manners, but Akiha is passing the dinner in silence with a dignified look on her face. Akiha returned to the mansion about an hour ago. Apparently some unexpected problems arose, and she had to dedicate most of her day to dealing with them. Hisui, just asking to be sure, but we're not forbidden from speaking at dinner, are we? I keep my voice to a soft whisper so that Akiha doesn't hear. No. Everyone in the family used to converse freely amongst themselves. Okay, so Akiha is just quiet because she's in a bad mood? My apologies. That is beyond my knowledge. Though, if I were to speculate, perhaps Mistress Akiha is simply exhausted. Right, that would make sense. She's not exactly the most cheerful person, but her mood tonight seems especially sour. Must have been a hell of a day. I nod in sympathy. I should probably give her some space to relax, since her Sunday was ruined by extenuating circumstances, and I know better than to try to throw out a random topic. Yep, it's best to let sleeping Akihas lie. I can hear you, Shiki. I'm not tired from this afternoon's inspection. It is merely considered proper decorum in our household to eat in silence. She glares at me sharply. I'm not surprised that she saw me talk to Hisui, but the fact that she actually overheard what we talked about is terrifying. Just how good is her hearing? Shiki, I don't know... I don't know how to tell you this, but, if the room is dead silent except for the sounds of forks and knives, anybody can hear anything said in that room. So I suppose such formalities are a thing of the past now. If there's something you absolutely have to tell me, or if you simply want to talk about our respective days, then go ahead. There are no restrictions forbidding it. Nodding in acknowledgement, I resume eating. Since I had a small breakfast and lunch, I had worked up a reasonable appetite for dinner. but tonight's meal is difficult to look at. From the beef tenderloin and the foie gras to the deep crimson sauce, all the dishes remind me of what happened up to last night. A sudden murder, an impossible reunion, an equally impossible monster. And just as death had closed its grip around me, I also touched death myself. Not to mention, there was the long-anticipated farewell once we defeated the vampire. I'm pathetic. I've had the whole day to wallow, and I'm still not over it.
それで
So,
私の仕
what did
事
you
ぶ
do
りを
with
い
your
たわってく
afternoon
れた
off?
兄さんは
It could not have been simply
午
worrying
後の
over my
休みを
work.
どのように過ごされたのです
Huh?
あ、
Oh,
ああ、
right.
俺のこと
What
か。
did I do?
午
I
後は
went for a
散歩に
walk,
出て、
then went back to
部
my
屋に
room
戻っ
and
てからはず
lay
っ
in
とベ
bed
ッ
till
ドで
dinner.
横になってた。
それは
I see.
あの
Wasn't your anemia acting up again?
また貧血ですか
いや、
No, my
考
body's
え
fine.
事をしていたら、い
So is
つ
my
の間
leg
に
for
か
that
夜
matter.
になってたとい
I
う
was
か
just。thinking about stuff. And it
体の
was
調子は
nighttime
悪く
before
な
I
いし
knew it.
足の方も問題ないよ。
つまり
In other
無
words,
意
you
に
spent
時
your
間
day
を
in
浪費した
idleness.
ということですね
Okay, well, when you say it like that.
そんなくだらないことを
Please
堂
don't
々
speak of
と
such
口にしな
pointless
いでくださ
pastimes
い
with pride.
私は何と
I
も
may
思
not
いま
think
せん
anything
が
of it, but others would
他の
find you
人が聞け
laughable
ば
if they heard
笑い
you
物
talk
にな
like
るだ
this.
けですから
I have no way of rebutting her merciless words. But I'm curious about something she said.
確かに自堕落に思わ
I
れる
can
発
see
言
how
だ
saying
っ
it like that would sound kind of lazy.
た。というか、自堕落だ
Actually,
った。
no, I was definitely being
反省している。
lazy today, so I'm sorry.
けど、
But
ア
what
キ
did
ハ
you
は
mean when
何
you
と
said
も
you
思
don't
わ
think
ないって
anything of it?
どうして
Could it be that despite her strict demeanor, she's actually pretty lenient with her close relatives?
どうしても何も
Isn't it obvious?
と私は党の
I
士
don't
気に
expect
何も
anything
期
from
待
you,
はしてい
Shiki.
ませんから兄さんがそういう
I've
人
been
であ
fully
るこ
aware
と
of
は
what sort of person you are
初
from the
めから
very
承
beginning.
知の上です
Oh, okay. I'll just crawl into the little corner over there and, you don't have to perceive me anymore. Anyway. I see. There's certainly wisdom in that. Can't be disappointed if you're not hoping for anything. I'm truly at a loss for words.
いやー、ごちそうさまでした。
Ah, it was delicious. Thank you.
ごちそうさま
It certainly was.
食後は
Now I
習い
have
事
to
があり
practice,
ます
so
の
I'll
で
be taking my leave.
私はこれで兄さん
And Shiki,
反省なさ
if
れ
you
た
are
のでし
indeed
たら
reflecting on your actions,
今夜
I
は早
suggest
め
you
に
return
部屋
to
に
your
戻
room
っ
and
て
devote yourself to your
勉学に
studies.
励んでくださいね
Akiha rises from her seat and leaves the dining room. It sounds like she's got violin practice tonight. How am I supposed to keep up with someone this multi-talented?
四季さん
You can't give up, Shiki. Don't let her
秋
win.
葉様に負けないで
Our resident mischievous housekeeper gives me some quick words of encouragement and a playful wave as she leaves the room with Akiha. Thank you, Kohaku. You're a real one. After dinner, I take an early bath before returning to my room. I sit at the desk. Thinking back on what Akiha said, I decide to open a textbook and make up for the time I wasted today. No matter how crazy my life became over the past couple days, I'm still a second year in high school. I've got a mountain of work to do.
いや、
And what a mountain it is.
なんだけど。
But no matter how hard I try, I just can't concentrate. I keep seeing them in the back of my head. unneeded visions of a woman who I should have forgotten by now. Somebody cue up that one song from Hercules. You know the one. You know the one.
ああ、もう
You
今日はやめやめ。
That's enough for today. Giving up, I fall back onto the bed sheets and stare idly at the ceiling. It's okay. Tonight is the last time I'll have to deal with this. It was an intense couple of days, for better or for worse. It's not as if I could forget about it that easily. I'll need at least a day to cool down. Which is what I'm doing right now, just letting my mind wander. I pass the time in a daze, hoping to distance myself from those memories and wash away the impressions they left on me. As long as I can manage this, the things that happened will fade into the past. My eyelids grow heavy. My consciousness drifts away. And slowly but surely, darkness wraps my senses in its embrace. Thus does my peaceful day off come to an end. I lie in bed and slide into a vague slumber, as if I can convince myself it will all fade away. Oh. It would seem that's the end of the chapter. That was kind of a short one. Oh, and the next chapter's a two-parter. That's a little awkward. So, okay, so here's I like to go into this blind. I like to go into into these visual novels as blind as I can. But sometimes we run into scenarios like this. We've only been going for like an hour and a half, and most of that, like realistically, we've only the chapter itself was only like an hour. I don't want to carry on into the next chapter, especially because it's a two-parter. Because it's probably going to be one of the longer chapters, considering it followed a specifically shorter chapter. However, we've only been live for an hour and a half, so I feel I don't want to stop streaming right now. I don't know what to do about that exactly. For now, since we are no longer going to, since we're not going to continue Tsukihime for the rest of tonight, we'll pick it up again tomorrow, and we'll hop back over to my chatting screen.